It's time for the NFC Championship, and the road to a Super Bowl goes through Minnesota. It's the Falcons and the Vikings, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
It seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports, and man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
For the chance to head to Arizona in 2 weeks' time for Super Bowl 57, we are underway now in the NFC Championship. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And we talked about it last week, the pressure of not just playing in the playoffs and now in the championship game as they try to close out a perfect 19-0 season. Of all the games they played, though, this year, this is far and away the toughest one. If they find a way to win it, guess what the next one will be? The toughest one they played. That's what happens when you have a perfect record on the line.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now. 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And some room to run now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He'll buy some time right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Smith. And that's going to be caught downfield by Fant. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. A run with Mostert up the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now on the opening drive in this NFC title game.
They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is...
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jamison Williams.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings have struck first in this NFC title game.
So they take the opening kickoff and drive it all the way down the field.
And that's the last thing you want defensively. On the road, in the playoffs, and now you're down a touchdown right away.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that lines up a 7-play drive all total.
And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time.
And they'll be led out by the second overall pick from BYU, now in his second season, Zach Wilson.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
They go play action now. Wilson.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. It's certainly not how they envision the start to this one. You give up the touchdown, and they take a shot on the first play from scrimmage offensively, Charles, when it gets intercepted.
Yeah, instead of just trying to nibble and, work your way downfield, they try to take a nice little chunk there. It didn't pay off for them. Now the defense runs on the field, having already given up a touchdown the first drive, hoping to get their legs under them and slow them down.
And all those mistakes, they just seem magnified here in the playoffs. Running the counter with Mostert.
And some room to work. Nifty move. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Second down and goal. Smith. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that's one way you take away a first down as a defender. Make sure you have a little bit of physical play when the ball gets to the receiver. Find a way to jostle it free. They caught him off guard, force the incompletion.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by James Bradbury. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
And we'll see if that pick six looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken in at the 3. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And now out comes Minnesota. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
A quick throw, but incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Smith. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. On 4th down, Smith. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to pick up the Vikings' first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Okay, ready? Alert! Alert!
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, they go with Mostert again. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Drop behind the line on a nice play by Deion Jones.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll run the draw with Mostert. 86 yards rushing for him now. A strong performance here in this first half with a Super Bowl berth on the line. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Falcons are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercepted.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up on the forward first round to Jimmy Moore. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And throwing probably should have made running left and throwing back across the field.
And when you do that and you're rolling towards the sideline, you cut down your field in a big way, significantly. And the guys who play in the 2nd and 3rd level, those linebackers and DBs, they know that, and they know they don't have nearly as much space to cover, and they're hoping you try and throw it back towards the middle.
They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now Gino on first down. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for our offense.
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent game.
And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. Called a gain of 9 there, and it puts him in better shape here for 2nd and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Smith keeps it on the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Geno Smith scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Vikings have moved out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. First down now, but the clock continues to move. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. Now it's Wilson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. the gun. Here's Wilson. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
You tell he wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Myers' kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Speedster Raheem Mostert and the rest of this offense out to start the drive. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Because they'll stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got a pick before? That's my turn.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Smith now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now Smith. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Noah Fant in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Boy, Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains. In the battle to see who will take home that George Halas Trophy and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, time to look ahead to the AFC Championship coming up later today. And it should be a great one as well, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns doing battle with the New England Patriots. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Our two squads making their final adjustments prior to the second half kick. Which team will be the one standing as NFC champions at the end? To find out, let's get you back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. And the Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And they have work to do in this second half if they want to earn that berth to the Super Bowl.
And I'm pretty sure this is where their coaches at halftime were saying don't panic and then demonstrating it by not making a lot of drastic changes to the game plan. Let's just get back to doing what we've been doing all year long. That should be more than good enough.
And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Aaron Donald able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Still third down.
And a manageable third down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Here's Wilson to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 8 yards there on a first down. To throw is Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
Yeah, this defense as a whole has really been flying to the football all game long. They have not allowed too much of anything. And here's another example. A great play there to get in and disrupt it before it could get going.
Play action. Now Wilson. Flushed out right. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got over the scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. Dances by him. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Falcons. Tony Pollard, 31 yards. And the Falcons have cut it back within a score. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
109 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Once again, it's Mostert. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
But you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They hand it off to Mostert.